welcome back to another episode of our live seasons where we talk about the raw and honest truth to navigating through the different seasons of life. I'm your host Wen, and if you have been loving the podcast episodes, please do leave a review of this podcast on whichever platform that you're on and let me know which topics are your favorite. Now, before I jump into today's episode, I just want to say that the extended versions of all these episodes are in our community, so please do join them, and the link is in the show notes below. So I'll see you guys inside, and yeah, let's get into today's episode. So in today, I want to talk about a recent belief that I have discovered, and it's a belief that I think rather a mindset shift that I have been thinking about for quite some time now, and I've heard it through a podcast that I was listening to, and it really left a very deep impression on me. And this obviously is also included in the kind of list of mindset shifts that I have, and that is you will always be provided for by the universe. When I heard this for the first time, I was like, wow, let me ponder upon it, because honestly this statement was so strong and I've never thought about it this way. I've always felt like, with all the situations that we are placed in, uncomfortable situations that we're placed in life, it's almost impossible to think that you will always be provided for by the universe, right? Especially when you are in a very tough state of your life right now, or rather you just find yourself being really uncomfortable and questioning, why is this happening to you? Why is that person being brought into your life? Why this, why that? And you almost feel abandoned. At least for me, that was how I felt when before I was listening to this podcast. I was just so upset at how abandoned I felt, because for those of you who know, I had a good year of times where everything just happens the way it needs to be. I was just so happy with where I was in life, and when 2025 hit, everything came crumbling down. And when I say everything, I really meant everything, and I was just so upset at why am I back to square one? Why do I feel like I'm back to square one? And it's as if the universe has left me. And that was honestly how I felt. And you might feel that way too. And it's very normal to feel that whenever you are sort of quote unquote left behind to face everything that you're given at that point in time, where it's just so uncomfortable and you're just like, oh my god, get me out of this, right? So this was the first time that after hearing this statement itself, I was just so amazed by this concept, and I was like, let me try to see how else I can justify it. Because like I told you about this before, whatever that you believe, you have to believe strongly within your gut. You can't just take on other people's belief and run it as if it's yours, because your subconscious mind, or rather your mind, is not gonna believe in you if you don't develop this feeling of, I truly believe in it, and I want to embody this personality, and I want to embody this mindset. Okay, so of course I have to sit and ponder on it, right? So once you realize, or rather I realized, that everything that is moving on this earth, every living thing, the human beings, the animals, the plants, they are all given, or we are all given, a life by the universe. And that's why we're here on earth, to be provided for and to live out our purpose. Every single one of us serves a purpose. Even the ant that you see, even the plants that you see, the flowers that you see, the bees that you see, the butterflies that you see, your friends that you see, every single one of us were placed on this earth for a purpose. We were meant to go through a certain journey, and that journey brings about obviously conflicts and also your highs, right? Your happiness. And with those conflicts, you learn lessons. You have to have the duality of life, the good and the bad. And that is all provided for by the universe, okay? As long as you are breathing and living on this earth, you are provided for, okay? This is a promise that the universe has given us, and if we want to benefit from his providence, then we have to do our part in contributing to this society by living out our life's purpose. And you may be asking, what is our life purpose, or what is my life purpose per se? Everyone has very different life purposes, and that is something that is on us to be able to go and discover and to be able to see, okay, I think this is something that I'm meant to be doing. And when I tell you that when you find your life purpose at whatever stage that you are in your life, you would feel this sense of oh my god, this is it. Like, this is something that I truly enjoy. There are no second thoughts. Even if this life purpose or quote unquote passion of yours don't bring you money or material wealth per se, it brings you a different sort of peace and also a different sense of just calamity where you're just like, wow, this is it. And that is your body and your heart telling you that this is your life purpose. And if you have not felt that before, it's completely fine, because like I mentioned, every single thing in this life is a journey. Your journey, your entire journey in this lifetime is to find and live out that life purpose. Okay, sometimes certain things might feel like, oh, that's my life purpose, but as the years goes down, as you start aging and growing older or maturing, you will realize that perhaps that's not really what I want to do, and that's completely okay. Drop it, move forward. That passion of yours was meant to be for you for a reason, so that you can be where you need to be. Okay, it brings about a lesson. Just like how when we're in this lifetime living out the life, we bring about certain lessons to people, and people bring about certain lessons to us. That is what we have to do, is to figure out our life purpose, and we have the time that we have in this lifetime to figure that out. So don't rush it, okay? And like I mentioned, everyone's purpose is different. There is no single human that is the same, which is why no one, or rather you can't find someone that is exactly the same as you, having the same passion, having the same mindset, having the same looks, nothing, okay? No one of a single human is made the same. We go through very different lives. We go through very different scenarios in our lives, right? We live in different parts of the world. We speak different languages. We have different cultures. We attend different schools. We have different educations, right? We have different likes and dislikes. And everything about us is just so different. As you grow, you start changing. You start changing your mindset. You start changing certain perspective that you have on life, and that is completely normal, and which is also the reason why we are still different no matter at what age we are at, right? You will never find someone that is exactly the same as you. They will always be similar. Like, you have similar interests, you have similar mindsets, you have similar perhaps perspective on life, but no one is the same, okay? So remember that, and that is something that has always intrigued me, because if everyone is made the same, then there is no point of us living in this world, right? Because then our life purpose would be the same. There is no novelty, there is no excitement in this lifetime. So no single human is made the same for a specific reason. Okay, and all this are not by coincidences. They are planned out in the most perfect way possible. And this fact, like I said, always amazes me, because there's just no explanation other than the power and the beauty of a higher being, right? Of universe, of God, of whoever that you believe in. So think about it. Whatever that you have right now, be it your current situation or your material possessions like your wealth, it is all given and provided for by a higher being. Yes, as much as you can say that, oh, I've worked very hard for it, I've put my ass on it, and I've just really been, like suffering, quote unquote, suffering to get there. There is a part of you that you can't control, and that is something that you need to understand. There is a part of you that you can never control, and that is if whatever we want or desire will come to us. Okay, this is something that we cannot control. We can't control whether or when our desire is going to come to us, or when certain situations will find us. Because as much as you can manifest and think about, oh, I want this and I want that, I desire this, I desire that, what you can't control is the timeline of it. Okay, when things are right, naturally it would fall into place. And that is a sign of the universe providing for us, constantly knowing when is the perfect time for me to place her or him in that situation, and just allow them to learn their lessons. This is something that we cannot control. Time is something that we can't control. Okay, so if you're really, really struggling to stay positive or even live another day, hear me out. Okay, I know this concept is really tough for some of you to understand or grasp, especially if, like right now in this moment, everything around you seems to be crumbling down. You might be like, oh, what am I provided for? Like, why am I not being provided right now, right? So hear me out. Even if you may not see it, you are being provided for. And I need you to trust in this, even if it is blind trust, okay? Because that is the only way you will start making things make sense. Things around you will start making so much sense, and you start feeling this ease amongst chaos. The first step is to actually believe, to trust that no matter how life seems like crazy, like being so crazy, or rather, no matter how tough life seems like for you, no matter how uncomfortable the situation that you're in right now, or how uncomfortable you may feel, all this comes with a purpose. And this is why, okay? A loss of job perhaps opens up doors for much bigger wealth opportunity or higher income that is given for you. Even if both is not the case, sometimes it takes time for things to unfold. Sometimes this wealth that you achieve might be few years down the road, and right now you might just have to sit through this really discomfort feeling of yours, and just really sit through it and trusting that you are provided for. No matter how much you can't see it, you are provided for. Okay, perhaps a loss of loved ones through death make you see how temporary life is, so you start to cherish whatever you are given right now, including like the people around you, and you stop being so obsessed over the temporary things in life. Perhaps a loss of relationship or marriage got you to finally stop finding excuses to convince yourself that you're happy when you're not. Okay, it made you realize what exactly is it that you need to be happy, and you learn to not settle for less. You learn to give yourself the same type of love and happiness that you have yearned from your other partner who's not able to give you that, back to yourself. Okay, building like a stronger relationship with yourself and with God. A loss of anything in life is a blessing in disguise. It needs to happen for you to wake up and get to the next level. Because when God decides to take something away from you, or someone away from us, there is nothing that we can do about it. Okay, think about it. You can cry, you can sulk, you can throw temper tantrums, you can even hate, you can just be so upset. The fact is that you feel helpless shows that nothing in this world belongs to us. It is only gifted to us like a loan from the universe, from God, right? That's why whenever you lose something that you hold so closely to you, you can be upset, you can be frustrated, you can throw temper tantrums, you can question why. Actually, you should question why, but you can never blame, okay? Don't blame people, don't blame yourself, don't blame the universe or God for taking it away from you. Because one thing I can tell you is that as human beings, we will never be able to understand or see the bigger plan that the universe has created for us. And it's always better than we expected. We would never in a million years think of where we will be right now. As much as you plan, you try to manifest, you will never think of, in this current state, this is where you're at, good or bad. We would always say that, oh my God, I've never thought that I will be right here today. I would never thought that I would be doing this. I would never thought that I'll be blah, 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 right? And that is a reason. There has to be a reason why you would never think of it. And the only person, or rather not person, but the only thing that knows is the universe or God, because it's all part of a bigger plan for you, okay? And it's always something better. It's beyond our imaginations. Just like when this world was created, right? It is not something that us as human being have the capacity to think about. Everything that is created, even the trees right now, or just how the world spins, or just how people are like, how the society is like, it's not something that is within our control. Everything is created by a higher being, like it or not, okay? So don't blame, don't resent, because the more you blame, the more you resent, the more upset you will get, because you're just resenting yourself and you're just getting so frustrated, and all these frustrations will just be boiling deep within you. Meanwhile, think about it, the universe or God has so much power that it just doesn't affect them, okay? And there has to be a reason why you are placed right where you need to be. And I can't stress this enough. I'm gonna say this honestly multiple times in this podcast episodes to let you know that you are right where you need to be, okay? Everything happens for a reason. So instead of blaming or resenting, I want you to ask why. Why is this happening for me? Why am I placed in this situation? What is the lesson that I need to learn here? Why? It is because, am I too comfortable? Which is why like I'm placed in a situation where I'm so uncomfortable and I needed to learn how to be out of my comfort zone? Or is it because I have become too complacent? Or is there a lesson here that I need to learn? What is the lesson that I need to learn here? Okay, curiosity is always encouraged, because this is a time that you open yourself up to seeking answers. And while you are seeking answers, you'll definitely be provided knowledge that allows you to understand and ease the discomfort, because you are so focused on the positive side of things. You are so focused on moving forward instead of being stagnant or just retracting. You'll find yourself not only building your confidence back up, but also strengthening your faith. And like I said in episode 5, faith is something that we all need as human beings. It's something that keeps us going. If you feel like you don't have a specific faith, and I'm not talking about religion, I'm talking about just faith in general and the power of faith, I want you to go to episode 5 and check it out. Listen to it, okay? Give it a chance and listen to what I talk about when it comes to faith, or how faith is so impactful to our life, and how much of an effect it have on us on a day-to-day basis. If you don't have faith versus when you have a very strong faith and you're building that faith, there is this difference when it comes to your mentality and your mindset. Okay, so if you are finding yourself struggling with the mindset that you currently have, or you just feel like you're so negative and you can't seem to get out of it, listen to episode 5. Okay, and so remember, anything that you seek, you will be provided for in divine timing. Not always when and how you want it to be, but it is exactly when and how it should be, how you need it to be in order for you to learn your lesson, in order for you to guide you closer to finding your life purpose, okay? And it will always be good for you. The universe or God has our best interest at heart, okay? No matter how much you say that you don't believe in a higher being or you don't believe in whoever, just know that everything that happens for you in the perfect timing, in the best timing ever. Even your conflicts, even the challenges that you face, because right at that moment is when, if you dig deeper, you will realize that even going through tougher times, there is this sense of providence that you would find as well, right? Like for me, for example, when I was at a stage where, at the very start of 2025, I mean, we are still at the very beginning of 2025, but towards the end of 2024 into 2025, I was just, like I mentioned, I was so abandoned. I felt so abandoned that why is everything just slowing down? Why is it slowing down? And as I slow down, and as I come to ease, or rather, as I understand that everything is being provided for, I'm right where I need to be, I start to realize that this slow period of time allowed me to be closer to the people that I love. It allowed me to build a different sense of relationship that I've never felt like I could build with the people around me. I needed that time and the extra space to be able to just sit with myself and rethink all the mindset that I have, and shift certain mindsets that I have, and constantly remind myself of the mindsets, the important ones, which are being patient, and know that to find the good in every single situation, no matter how bad it is, there will always be an outcome to it. There will always be a positive to it. And that was when I started to see that, I was so much closer to the people that I love. I started building new relationships that I never thought that I was gonna be able to build in this lifetime. I started seeing that so many people were so supportive of my journey, even though I was struggling internally. I started to notice how people were so supportive of me, and I have built such a great support system that I would only be able to see, sad to say, I would only be able to see it when I am placed in a really tough situation. Because if everything were to be going well for me, I would have never sat and thought about how supportive people are. People could have never be given that opportunity to be able to show their support and love for me, right? I will never be able to see even if they do. So in every tough situations, you know that you will always be provided for when it comes to the positive part of things. And I need you to go and dig it out. You will need to sit with yourself and stop wallowing in self-pity. Stop looking at the negative. Start shifting gears and looking at the positive things, and see what are the things that you can be grateful for right in this moment, even though when things are really tough. And that is a major shift for me, to know and have this faith that I will always be provided for by the universe. Even if it's the toughest time, I'm always provided in some sort of way. And once I go through these tough times, like I mentioned, everything has to come to an end, the good and the bad, okay? So when this bad comes to an end, the good comes. It's just like a mountain peak. Like, you can always imagine it as a wave, right? Life is just like wave. Things come and go, come and go, come and go. And you just have to ride this wave, and you feel so much easier. Because if you don't, and you start struggling and trying to retract and be like, no, I don't want this to happen, that's when discomfort happens. That is when you're so upset about anything and everything, and you will never be able to find that ease and peace within yourself. Okay, so let go with the flow, go with the wave of where you are being brought. Because honestly, wherever you are right now, you are meant to be right where you need to be, okay? And I can't stress this enough, especially if you're like me, you're going through a really tough time and you're trying your best to be as positive as you can. Know that you are right where you need to be, no matter how uncomfortable you are. There has to be a reason why, so enjoy this delay. Find the beauty in this delay, okay? So this is kind of probably what I want to talk about for this episode. I hope that it shifted something in you, to see the providence that the universe have been giving you and grow your faith in knowing that you will always be provided for, okay? Get into the community if you have not, to unlock the extended versions of this episode. The link in this community is in the show notes below, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye! Welcome back to the paid version of this episode. Now, when I was first exposed to this mindset of everything is provided for, I had this question, and you probably might have this question as well, as to why is there still poverty that exists, right? If everyone is being provided for, or rather, if everyone is being provided for by the universe, right, that we do not have to worry about anything, then why is it that poverty still exists? See the importance of having a healthy habit of questioning everything that you come across. Even whatever that I say in our life seasons, I hope that you have this chance to form your own perspective and take on life, and also kind of help you with having like a stronger belief, right? Whatever take that you have on life, I want you to start, questioning them, or even anything that I say, I want you to start questioning them, because it's really a healthy habit. So back to what I was saying, you may ask as well, right? Like, what about the poor or the homeless? Why is there still this issue in this world? So based on this theory, everyone will be provided for. Then why is it that, in different parts of the world, homelessness is still a very big problem, and there are people losing their lives because of the lack of food or resources, right? My answer to that, or rather the answer that I've found and came to consensus with myself, is because not everyone in this world that has the means to provide for others does their part to play in their society. Okay, let me repeat this. Because not everyone in this world that has the means to provide for others play their part in this society. So I believe that for those of us who are blessed enough, right, to be provided for in our world, or in this world, part of our responsibility is to provide for the people who are less fortunate, and is to give back to the community. Whatever that we have extra is to give back to the community, right? To feed the people who are in need. And that is on us. That is our responsibility. Whatever amount that you can contribute, it's not about the amount, but the intention. And I always say this, intention is something that is very important. Whatever intention that you have, and that intention is to give back to the society, right? Is to pay back, and to know that whatever that I'm being provided for, I'm super grateful, and hence whatever extra that I have, I want to give back to the people who are waiting for us to provide for them. And their version of how the universe is providing for them is through us. Okay, that is the only reason, or the only explanation as I can think of, why are there still homelessness around, or why are there still people that are just quote unquote suffering in a sense. And some of them you might justify, right? Like, it's the choices that they make. Yes, maybe it's through drugs or whatever, but some of them are just really, they are born into poverty, and those are the people that we need to take care of. Okay, those are the people that is our responsibility to give back to society. You might not have to fly all the way to that country to be able to feed them, but that's why there's charities, that's why there's organizations that actually help them. And through your own contribution, whatever contribution that is, majority of it is monetary contributions, that's fine as well. No matter the amount, you can actually help them as well. Okay, this is you playing your part to tell the universe that, look, I'm very grateful that you are always providing for me, and this is something that I want to give back to the people that are waiting for me to be provided for, right? Through me, that you can actually provide for them. So I would say that it is a form of gratification as well, if you think about it that way, where I always talk about being grateful for whatever that you have. So when you are grateful, and when you are not like hogging every single possession that you have, that's when you feel like you could start giving back to the society, okay? And as for the ones who are quote unquote not provided for by universe or God, that is on us. Like I said, it is on us. We were given the means to do that, but what happens is that one of the challenges that we face is hogging, like I mentioned. Hogging our possessions, especially our wealth, money specifically. Why? Because we operate from a lack of mentality. We think that by giving a part of what we have, we will have lesser. And like it or not, this comes from a very selfish mindset, okay? Imagine this. If everyone were to understand the importance of our role in this society, and in this context is giving away a part of our wealth, whatever that is extra for us, right, back to the people who need it, perhaps the world will be a better place. I understand that this might be a too idealistic of a way to think, to hope that everyone contributes in the way that they should be. But if you are listening to this, I hope that it changes your perspective of the role that you play in this society, right? That's why charity is a thing. There are a lot of ways to give back to the society other than cold hard cash. You can give your time, your energy. It doesn't have to be money, okay? So if you have not cultivated the habit of giving back to the society within your means, I hope that today is a good start for you, okay? Find an organization that you like and trust that perhaps, by getting into charity or a subscription plan of a monthly deduction from your bank account back to the organization to help the people who are in need will be good for you, okay? It is something that I feel like for us as humans, or for the ones who are lucky enough to be provided for and have extra, this is when we give back to the society, okay? Though I would say that this way you kind of prevent yourself from contemplating on what you can do with the extra money, right? You would know that a portion of the amount goes to the people in need, and you know that every single month you're helping out people who needs help out there, okay? And again, the amount can be as big as small as you want it to be. No one is about to judge you based on the amount that you give. At least you're giving something, right? Some of the people out there, they are not giving anything. At least you are giving something. So that is a good step forward. That's why I love that, in certain religion, it is a law that the believers have to give back a part of their possessions to the ones in need. Trust me, when you start to understand that nothing in this world belongs to you because it can be taken away from you in an instant, there is nothing that you can do about it, you'll realize that there is no point in hogging any of your possessions, be it your money or material possessions, okay? You start to learn to let go and see how happy you can be even if you lead a very simple life, right? With minimal stuff, knowing that you have done your best and you have also contributed or play a part in this society. This is something that you need the most, and that's when happiness happens, okay? I'm not about to make this whole episode on like charity, but it's also part of why we are being provided for, and that is our responsibility to be able to provide back into the society, back into those people who are quote unquote waiting for us to provide for them, okay? And this is honestly how I look at it, is that it's a test for us to make sure that we are able to kind of understand the flow of things, the flow of wealth, the flow of abundance, to know that the more abundance that we have, the more responsibility that we have in this society, and we have to play our part in giving it. You don't have to be a millionaire, billionaire, be earning like 6 figures a month before you can start giving back to the society, okay? Even if it's a small amount. Imagine even if everyone contributed $1 or $2 in this world, the amount of money that we can make and also be able to provide back to the people in need is crazy. And that's when, everyone would just be so much happier, because then you're doing a good deed and you realize that this is the beauty of life. To be finding satisfaction like that, it's just on another level, okay? So that's all for today's episode. I want to say that I am very thankful to be able to have you guys here with me to be able to contribute a little bit into the society, and I hope that this episode have actually allowed you or shifted your perspective in terms of how the universe has always provided for you. You just have to look into it, okay? And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!